Who killed Bojangles? Maybe it was you. There we go. Get that Earl. Jesus Christ, this VPN is a piece of shit. How do people use this? It was kind of fucking my own fault for bouncing all my traffic to Northern Virginia. But I digress. Mm. Ugh. There we go. Must Bojangles. Pretty gorgeous morning out there in Brooklyn, New York. What about y'all? Let's see. 310 people in LRH. What the fuck is that? I don't understand why these people keep coming. Like, it's just me. But indeed they do. Epic Fantasy A16. Let's throw that Twitch link in there. Bop. There we go. So there's that. Who else needs to know about all this? I don't really want to get those llamas people in there today. Not feeling it. Do you guys like my new shoes, or do you think they kind of gay? Yeah, I had to tell them that they were hard gay. So, somebody just tweeted, CDC this, CDC that. I'm just trying to see them titties. Mm. Mm. The pain I know all too well. Let's see here, 6:34 a.m. Somebody's doing like a summer camp writing stream. Whew. All right. It's we didn't get like any work done on this chapter, and I definitely shouldn't have been out all night fucking partying. But I mean, nor was I. But it's just the same. I don't really have a strong excuse. So chapter 1.8. This is RAPAXORIS by Zach ZYZ. If you're wondering what this strange disembodied torso is doing, I'm editing this novel. We are at 51 of 697 pages in our first 16 days. That's not good. it's, it's actually quite bad. How many pages a day is that? That's just over 3 pages a day, so I'll be on this for another fucking year. Today's not going to be any faster either, to tell you the truth, because we have to rewrite the second half of this chapter because it is garbage. Logic is going to make sandwich. That sounds good. Make me one too. And then just burn it in offering to the great Load Radio. I did get some good news yesterday on the writing front. I read 100 pages of Master Arcanist. Well, you're probably about done. Yeah, Arcanist is a fast read. It's a shame that I made that book start so slow, right? Because it's like a good book, it's fucking fun. But I think most people are just not into reading about like this hoary old wizard ruminating in a tower for fucking 3 chapters before he decides to leave his tower. I wouldn't change a fucking thing though. That really is how old people are, in my experience. They like puttering. I'm gonna say the opposite. The beginning is nice and it goes fast towards the end. That's a common criticism of my stuff is that I just get tired of writing it, and we just zip forward and full fucking speed ahead, damn the torpedoes, and fly off the face of a cliff. But also with Arcanist too. Arcanist was meant to be a serial the entire time. So every time you stop reading an Arcanist book, you should be thinking, what the fuck happens next? So yeah, that's a very small part of that fantasy world right there. I may do a stream at some point where I'm drawing a map in Procreate. I think that might be kind of neat. I'd have to jigger this a little bit here, but and I'm going to be going off of some of the precepts in this book, How to Draw Fantasy fucking campaign maps and so forth. But yeah, like so the story that you guys will be in will be like all the way around the world from that particular guy really lives in like a backwater in the ass end of nowhere in which like by design. But yeah, when we do our campaign, you'll be closer to like cities and fucking castles and ships and whatnot. But yeah, honestly, then Xanon Inc. really has like a little bit more to say about some of the politics of the world, but not really, because that's another backwater. Like all the stories that I've published in that world. Oh shit! What's up, Smithy One? So we have to let's go ahead and get the difficult part out of the way. So blah 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 throws an ore. It's a devil. Flew away clumsily. Okay, cool. All right, and then let's read through this since we went here. But I might bring even more disruptions than you. Why are you drunk as shit? Yeah, something in the wind. I'm telling you. So here's chapter 1.8, and then we'll see how we do in terms of rewriting the chapter. I have like a couple ideas. Just like a note, if you've never been on one of these streams before, when I'm rewriting, I tend to not be super interactive because I'm wholly focused on the task. So I do very little like. It's a good time to like, I don't know, fucking play a video game or something. This is I'll be constantly like rewriting each sentence as we're going through it. I'm not even sure that I have the juice or the mana to do this, but like I don't want to skip a day. And let's see if we can make some progress. And if it doesn't work out today, there's always tomorrow. So, RAPAXORIS by Zach ZYZ. Chapter 1.8. Balance in all things. As the wheel of fortune lifted the old man in the... What did I say? Wheel. Balance in all things. As the wheel of fortune lifted the old man and the thief, it rolled over the four fools in pursuit. It's weird. So to me, because I know what's happening in the story, when I think about that, I'm like, well, how does it roll over them as it's lifting up the others when Revel and... So, if you think of like the fucking turning wheel and so forth, they should be ahead of... it's confusing to me, but the people ahead of the wheel should be the ones getting crushed underfoot, and Rigel and Fish are further ahead in the story. I'm not crazy about this metaphor, but balance in all things. As the wheel of fortune lifted the old man and the thief, it rolled over the four fools in pursuit. Fish and Rigel had brought almost nothing. Yeah, this is not a good paragraph, honestly. like bare necessities. Those bare necessities. I do like an opportunity to break into that song, but not so. No. They didn't pack, by the way. They just threw a bunch of fucking turnips and shit in a sack. Uh, the menorah of justice. Is the menorah of justice? As the swastika of sovereignty sickled over Europe. No, that's probably not it. Uh, the wheel analogy seems fine, but I can suggest a high ones giveth um, fortune shining on some and casting others into darkness. Yeah, I don't. We have so much rewriting to get done in this chapter that I've abandoned the attempt. Mm-hmm. I like that a little bit better. As the wheel of fortune lifted the old man and the thief, it rolled over the four fools who pursued him. Oh, yeah, that's why we didn't have them. Yeah. Rigel and Fish made good time up the Rackar. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Blah. Mm-hmm. Balance in all things. As the wheel of fortune lifted the old man and the thief, it rolled over the four fools in pursuit. Rigel and Fish made good time up the Rakar. The draft was light in the shallows. You know what's funny is that both Rigel and like neither of them is particularly plump, right? They're skinny motherfuckers. So their whole canoe, if you want to think of how low they're laying in the water, Rigel probably weighs about 90 pounds, soaking wet, and Fish is probably like under 150. So their total like weight is going to be something like and then like a canoe, which there would have to be made out of like hide and wood and shit like that. Um, fuck, I'm thinking this guy over right here. With few supplies to encumber them, Rigel and Fish made good time up the Rakar. This is going to play a factor later on, because like it turns out that it's not a great idea to venture into the RAPAXORIS with like no without supplies. Just FYI, it's never a good idea. I like that. Um, all right, so let's what do we get done there? Balance in all things. As the wheel of fortune lifted the old man and the thief, it rolled over the four fools in pursuits. In pursuit. With few I don't like that. Unencumbered by supplies, Rigel and Fish made good time up the Rakar. So light draft, no, the draft of a vessel is how deep it sits in the water. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The little canoe had a light draft and could glide. Unencumbered by I like unencumbered by supplies. Welcome to the Seek. Uh, Guys out here doing good streams with no add everyone on Discord to announce them. Very odd behavior. Well, I don't want like a shit ton of people out here. Top Keck. Yeah, like the fucking hate ad here's in Discord. Every time somebody does that shit on a server, I immediately mute the server, unless it's like something spectacularly important. Like, oh my god, the president just took a shit in his own mouth. You got to see this. All right, like I'll click that ad here. But in general, it's just a waste of everybody's fucking time. Wait, what server are you even on that I would fucking adhere to everybody? I certainly wouldn't do it on a fucking politics server or JRE. With few supplies to encumber them, Rigel and Fish could shoulder their little canoe and skirt the rapids. Oh, the LRH one. I get it though. Well, yeah, like the other part of this, I don't think I even linked. I did link this in the LRH one there. Yeah, like you're welcome to participate in this one here, but it's not fucking funny unless you're laughing at some of this awkward prose for the most part. This is mostly just for people who want to like chill and very, very, very slowly over the process of like a year whittle down this ponderous bulk of a novel into something that I think has some commercial potential. So we'll see what I can make of it. It was a different story for El Shalah's party. They had to disembark often and lug them. Let me see. How far away is their destination? I think that they are on this river for like 2 more days. So we don't specify like exactly how many leagues they travel here, but I know that there's one more scene with just in terms of how this goes. There's one more scene with fish in the morning. There's this scene there where they have to have some kind of dangerous encounter, which I have some ideas on how to do it. Then there's a scene with fish that's told from his point of view, where you start to get a little bit more insight into like why he's going to the RAPAXORIS. And then I love the word leagues. There's something about it is just fucking better than miles and kilometers. How the fuck do Europeans write fantasy novels? Like, who wants to read about a fucking kilometer? How many kilometers away is the dragon, my liege? Oh, I'd say 36 deciliters of elf's cum should do the trick. Yeah, like, what the fuck? It's a lot of elf cum. Yeah. It was a different story for El Shalah's party. They slipped on muddy banks and hacked their way through brambles. Clicks in Vietnam. Like fucking, what would it be like? Mana up the gyrocopters. We're going in. Honestly, honest to God, if you wrote like a Vietnam story that just had wizards, right? And you wrote it in like the tone of like Platoon or some shit like that, and just had wizards going in and being like, I love the smell of delayed blast fireball in the morning. Oh my god, nerds would fucking lap that shit up. Oh yeah, I'm writing it down. Uh, yeah, that's fucking ludicrous. Um, Smells like Majory. Ugh. Yeah, honestly, like, just like, am I wrong? Like, Apocalypse Now doesn't make any fucking sense, right? Like, there are some cool parts of it, but ultimately, it's like, why? You know? Um, well, especially once you get to like Marlon Brando. I remember I was only like 15 when I watched it, so I was just like, what the fuck are they doing here? I couldn't relate to like any of the Heart of Darkness shit, because I was still too pure. Was I pure when I was no? All right. Should I be concerned that pretty much every story you've written has some central dealing with addiction? So let's think about it right there. Um, it's probably just more that it's like so woven throughout my life. Um, Let me see. So in survival mode, he's addicted to cryosome, right? In Xanon Inc., you really don't have like there. There's like a scene at Nod's Hole where people are like smoking cane, but really I wouldn't call it like a central thread. But there is a nod to the fact that people are addicted. Maybe you could say that they're addicted to the kinky sex that pervades throughout it. In the right to bear arms, there's no addiction whatsoever. That's great, actually. I don't think the character even drinks heavily. In Hawks at the Diner, you could say that the president character is a little drinky, but no, she's just suicidal. In Master Arcanist, there's an element of addiction discussed with um, the silver pears at the very beginning of it there, but it's clear that he's not addicted and is able to force himself away from this the sort of addictive nostalgia. Then Lemon maybe in the Electric Lady. Oh yeah, like the entire fucking book. Gravid has some like significant addiction stuff in it. Space Tards, I guess you could do like the fact that they're all like all about nodding. That's like something. But shut up, fucking Siri. Uh, Zeros has an actual addict. In Zeros, he's addicted to punishment. And there's a character named Addict in it. So yeah, like it's a I don't know. When you write about people, you're gonna have addicts for the most part. And I know when I was a kid, I was like really enjoyed reading like Naked Lunch and um, well, not everybody's addicted, but so definitely, I think it's hard to say that there's a significant addiction theme in three of seven books that we talked about. So it's usually there. Usually there's some kind of rape in my stories too. Just putting it out there. Um, I don't know why, but it's always there. What else is there always? There's always violence. I don't think I've written anything that doesn't have some kind of huge violence. Mm. Mm-hmm. They had to lug the heavy canoe across muddy banks and hack their way through brambles. That doesn't. That's not a good sentence. LA Blue Girl, written by Zach ZYZ. God, there was a lot of weird shit in LA Blue Girl. I'm just putting it out there. Um, Speaking of which, you may see like a few characters from Master Arcanist returning here. Although this was written significantly before Master Arcanist. The three men had to lug the heavy canoe over muddy banks and hack their way through thick brambles. On top of all their supplies, Revel had brought his armor. Yellow Hat and Stirs cursed him for it with every labored step. Oh, this is garbage, yeah. Mm-hmm. The three men had to lug the heavy canoe over muddy banks. The long canoe had a low draft, forcing them to disembark often. The three men had to hack their way through thick brambles and lug. Yes. Ugh. Mm-hmm. I like this a lot, where he's just like ha ha ha, and they have to lug the fucking canoe. I don't know if they could actually do that. Let's see if this is even plausible. Uh, yeah. 50 pounds, fiberglass two-person canoe, aluminum canoes. Yeah, 60 to 75 pounds. How much weight can a canoe hold? Average canoe. Four-man canoe weight. Four-person canoe. These are like modern ones though. So we're gonna say that. What the fuck? Look at this canoe. Oh, this is ripping off this fucking. It's a model canoe. Fuck off. Fuck off. Look at this garbage. Oh, it does look kind of cool though. But yeah, made out of birch bark. Yeah, they used yeah, oh yeah, hacking bramble. It's no fucking picnic. But also them having to lug it. So let's say fucking is this, Jesus, is it really 23 fucking feet long? Here, let's take a look at some four-person canoes. Family canoes. Yeah, it'd be something kind of like this. So yeah, it'd be like 20 feet long. All right, well that makes some fucking sense. All right, so here's a traditional canoe. This is what with ribs. Show the fucking image. Ugh. Yeah, this is like much closer to what we old modern handicrafts. Um, show more. So it weighs about 100 pounds, and it's made out of wood. This is like much closer to what these guys are going to be rocking in, though probably not this nice. Um, no, so like what we're getting to there is, let's say that I think it's fair to say that their canoe is going to be something like this. It's going to weigh about 100 pounds, right? So then the canoe weighs like 100 pounds, and we know that there's supplies for each person in there. Let's say that all their shit weighs something like fucking. It'd be crazy for them to travel with like less than like 15 pounds a person. Um, so that's like 160 pounds, and we'll take Revel's armor. So can two men each carry about 115 pounds between them? Whew, they would be fucking suffering. That thing is not gonna fit fuck all supplies. So it's good to know that it's like 20 feet long, and that it's got all this going on right there. Pull it with ropes. Pulled their entire. Oh, that is true. Like often with like ships, you'll have like rollers and other stuff like that. I like the thought of them carrying it and not well, right? Where they're just like stooped over the. Yeah. As Revel hacked a path through the brambles, Yellow Hat and Stirs lugged the boat, cursing him with every step. There we go. On top of all their supplies, Revel had insisted on bringing his armor. El Shalah had allowed it. On top of all their supplies, Revel had brought his armor, packed in oiled cloth. There we go. No. We can do something with the armor. I'm going somewhere with this. Yeah, trust me. On top of all their supplies, Revel had brought his armor, packed in oiled cloth. In a fight without armor, the old man would cut Revel down. I like that. That's what I wanted to get to. Mm-hmm. He'd talked up all the monsters they might encounter on their Rakar, but none of them were fooled. In a fight without armor, the old man would cut Revel down. There we go. Whew. The four slogged on until even the bard was miserable. Yellow Hat pestered El Shalah for more cane hourly, and she always refused. Exactly. They haven't encountered any of the dangers, and none of them really have here. And so later in this chapter, they encounter like some devil thing. We just deleted all that horseshit. It just didn't fucking track. So we're not even gonna get to this. We're gonna redo this tiny little stretch of whatever for an hour. I would like to have some encounter that foreshadows what's going to happen to them inside, but like a full-on demon attack is inappropriate here. Also, you'll see why later. It doesn't make any fucking sense for there to be demons running around outside of the Rapaxoris, and you'll see why. But at the same time, I want to foreshadow some danger within. I want to inject some excitement against their miserable slog, and I want to get to a point later in the chapter where Yellow Hat is getting high on a rock. Mm-hmm. So in the previous chapter, we had a fair bit of. Honestly, this is a good point. We don't give a lot of description of what it's like up the river. The next chapter is one that really focuses on that. But yeah, we haven't really talked about like what's it look like out here. Like in this chapter, let's see, the 1.7 is where we should really talk about what the Rakar looks like, and I think it's a really fair point that we don't really talk about it. We talk about the hour before dawn. And we have like some specifics right here, but really a sentence or two about like what kind of trees and so forth they have going on there. Demon hill giant consuming bears in the forest like berries across the river. So just like spoiler, there should not be devils like flying around like all over the place up here. A lot of like what's wrong up here is just natural wildlife and yeah, so it's not like overrun with devils the way that they talk about it there. And canids are one. Oh, you know, I would like canids is actually like a really good one for there. So this is about the tension between the two of them. It was an hour before death. Oh, they wouldn't. They don't really have enough light to talk about, like the trees and so forth. Blah 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 blah. No. Ugh. Whipping it out of sight. Yeah, this is kind of like. Well, here I want to have something. Yeah, I like that. The sun rose. Yeah, it's awkward though. The leaves above were chased with gold by the rising sun. Fish caught less. The boy had the big catch. Ah, yeah. Uh, yeah, see, it's so difficult that his name is fucking Fish right there. Um, so I had like a few different ideas that were like batting around in my head. Um, I do kind of like the idea of some wolves though. Wolves are fucking gangsta. Owls that cry more pork. Flightless birds called kiwi that scream their asses off at night. Oh shit! I didn't realize that you were a New Zealander. I fucking love it there. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I wish I could go right now, but they won't let me on their dumb island, or one of the dumb islands. I went through the fucking goblin forest on the northern island. It was dope. Loved it. Goblin forest. Because the boy caught more fish. They boy. Uh, this is so fucking hokey. Mm-hmm. T4C are I'm in the far south of the South Island. No, I'm not. Well, nobody, no Americans can go there right now. Like I think they're still in quarantine. I didn't even get to the bottom of the South Island. I was just took the ferry from Wellington to like some parts of the Northern Island, but I didn't get down to like Christchurch or whatever. So that shooting was not my fault. Um, the boy had caught more, so Fish had to do the cooking. It was tradition. Better. And so just that like tiny little line up there um, about leaves. The sun rose and chased the leaves above. Nah, it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. The leaves above glowed golden in the first rays. Oh. Yeah, chased by the rising. It sounds not. It's not there. So we don't want like painting the leaves golden. Mm-hmm. Dappled light. I just very, very, very overused. Um, Scattering shafts of gold through the leaves. I like that. Yeah. Uh, let me think. The sun rose, and the leaves above glowed golden. Uh, Aquatic bird life in the Rakar that's like, what the fuck is this shit coming upstream? That's some good ideas. Yeah. There we go. The sun rose and the leaves above turned golden. There we go. Gold. Who doesn't like fucking gold? Give you a point. Oh, I didn't take any of those edits right there. Yeah, definite article there. Point for inspiration. I don't give inspiration points. Not at all. Yeah, I only give points for concrete edits that are implemented. Although if you have like a really good idea, like that's the idea, and I stole it, then I would give you a point. But yeah, I don't like Moon-Eyed. Even Stirs the Hook was daunted. I don't like Moon-Eyed. Yeah, that's dumb. Mm-hmm. Switch positions is oh, that's very true. Revel made hat and stir switch positions. Mm. Yeah, this is awkward. Yeah. Um, oh, there was already a bear there. Yeah, like that was already part of it. So she's stringing him out because he told her to earlier. Mm-hmm. The fiend was stirring. I like this. And the uncaring river. Shivering at the bow. So I'm going to take your suggestion there. I don't think we can do. Um, uh, yeah, babbling is too much. Uncaring river. No, I don't think we can do like the river babbling. At the bow, Yellow Hat shivered and hissed poisonous little mutters at the uncaring river. Since he's a bard, he's more of a junkie than a bard at this point. I feel like uncaring river is too much. Hmm. So here's where we I like I like that. At the bow. At the bow, Yellowhat shivered and hissed poisonous little mutters upriver. The Rakar babbled along. I like that. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think we had already done it there. All right, I'm gonna give you a point. Jesus. Let's see. The Rakar took no offense and babbled along. I like the idea of both of them just babbling nonsense. Uh, no, it's not a charity point because uh, unoffended. I don't think you can do unoffended. The Rakar took no offense and babbled along endlessly with the bard. The Ricard took no offense. That's who. That's not good. Yeah, I think took no offense is too much. And we couldn't say unmoved because the river is like always moving. What do we got? The Ricard babbled along with him. As the Ricard babbled along. Oh, fuck. It was my own fault. I should have done the rewrite off stream. A pun. It's been how many hours? He's getting the sweats, not going crazy. No, we're like we're in the second day of their pursuit here. Like yeah, he's getting like kind of cracky here. He is starting to crack up. That's better. Yellowhat shivered and hissed poisonous little mutters upriver, while the Ricard babbled along with him. I like it. Mm-hmm. Magneto debug. What the fuck? Oh, Magneto's like a fucking some Cody thing, right? Yeah. Why is it's fucking infuriating that Time Cop is always right about tech shit. You know, when he's like, don't use open source garbage, always right. He's like, stay away from AMD, always right. You know, fucking, he's a genius. The Rakar babbled along with him. Mm. Um, the bow is the front of the boat. The stern is the back of the boat. The prow is the front, but it's like where like the masthead would be. Here, let's take a look at. Because when you talk about like the prow of a woman, the forwardmost part of the bow above the waterline. So prow and bow. Is it bow or bow? I think it's bow. They're used interchangeably to talk about like the forwardmost part of a ship. I'm surprised that it didn't show tits, because like the usage of prow and comment like the most outside of like nautical, it'll mostly be like the epic prow of such and such lady, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the carving of a woman is called a masthead, I think, or a figurehead. But yeah, prow. Oh, I like at the prow a little bit better. I think that's a good idea. I'm gonna give you a point for prow. At the prow, Yellowhat shivered and hissed poisonous little mutters. Ricard babbled along with him. Yeah, we want to get kind of like a deliverance thing going on there. Like, even stirs the hook was daunted. He craned his head to peer into the darkness between the trees. Alarmed by the banjo music twanging through the dam. Mm. Even stirs the hook was daunted. He craned his head to peer into the darkness between the trees, tightening his grip. Mm-hmm. Phew, this is not the most productive day for yours truly, right there. And I mean, part of it too is just at the back of my mind. It's still churning. Like, what am I gonna do with the story? I might have spent like an hour or two last night on the subway just thinking about like different ideas for how I wanted to like soup up this chapter. And so often when I'm like stuck for an idea, I'll just like go through and edit like a particular the first part of a chapter, just trying to like find purchase where like sort of the wheel will start to turn. But as of right now, I am being crushed underfoot by that very same wheel of fortune. But making a little bit of progress right here. Not a lot, definitely not a lot. Even stirs the hook was daunted. Mm-hmm. No, you can actually, you absolutely, as you're canoeing and so forth, you can hear shit like rustling in the brush all the time. Uh, it's fucking constant. There, um, keep in mind, like, our ears are pretty good about this, but like when you have like a constant background of noise, like of a river going on, your ears will screen that shit out. Like you'll stop focusing on it, and you can hear other stuff that's going under it. Yeah. Um, even like through all the rowing and stuff like that, as you're canoeing, you will frequently hear, and everybody on the canoe will like freeze up, like, what the fuck? Oh, it's a deer. Oh, that's wonderful. Ooh, a deer would be cool. Oh, I like the idea. I think it's a little overdone though. The idea of a possessed deer or whatever. Mm. Oh yeah. Of course I've done all of this. Yeah, like yeah. Are you like well, judging by the fact that you're on the South Island and have not like gone on a canoe trip or something like that, I'm gonna just go on a wild leap that you might not have full use of your legs, which is it's not a bad thing. It just makes you a bad person. But that's my guess right there. But you don't have to say shit about whether that's true or not. But I digress. Is that not true? Uh, I'm just calculating here. Um, Fully functional female. Yeah, I've been on water, you dick. We call it kayaking. Only been out in boats with motors. Silly. Do they not have like, man? Yeah, I can think of a lot of. Oh wow. Sorry, I'm like summoning a memory of somebody that I railed in a canoe once. Not in the canoe, but up against a tree after canoeing. Shout outs to them if they ever watch this. They know. They know who they are. All right. Well, I'm glad that you have use of your legs. Um, we have a lot of rivers here, but they aren't really the sort that anyone would kayak. Experts do the ones here, entirely downhill rapids. And yeah, that's what was cool about the parts of the South Island that I saw. I didn't get to go to any of like the Lord of the Rings part or whatever. I wanted to go back. So they were supposed to have Worldcon at New Zealand last year, and I was going to go. But wait, can you go to New Zealand right now? Yeah, can you go to New Zealand right now? Strictly controlled, quarantine free, managed isolation. You want to enter New Zealand? Yes, I do. Right now. Um, Quarantine free travel country. Still go through managed isolation. New Zealand border entry requirements. I wish they would just fucking give up on all this. Just let everybody die. You know, fuck it. Anyhow, you can still get a spot in quarantine. Yeah, I would love to. Honestly, I would love to just fucking immigrate to New Zealand and just ride this shit out there. Except that your internet is fucking terrible there. Ugh. Or it was when I went there. Like everything was fucking metered. There's no high speed. Or there was high speed, but it was just trash. Um, yeah, the idea of like having like a data cap and paying for metered internet. He flinched at every rustle on the riverbank and got lost, peering into the darkness between the trees. Revel would nudge him to remind him to row. Let's take that out. It's not good. None of them were comfortable, but Sturris was completely out of his element. It was the first time in his life he'd ever left Tinkerton. when a bear nosed its way out of a blueberry bush to peer at the four strangers. Stirs screamed in terror. When a bear nosed its way out of a blueberry bush to peer at the canoe, Stirs screamed in terror. The others laughed so hard they nearly capsized. On the docks of Laz, Stirs was a hard, brutal man. On the river, he was hopeless. On the Rakar, he was hopeless. Okay, cool. I like that we just throw. So I actually like hopeless there, because everybody's like, it's a fucking bear, Stirs. No, like adrift is it's like a little too on the nose. I can't hear the phrase "on the nose" without thinking of somebody rubbing a dog's nose in its own shit. I don't know why those are connected. He was hopeless at everything but. All right, so this is a yeah. On the Brakar, he was hopeless at everything but rowing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right here because honestly, this is like not the greatest day. I didn't get a good night's sleep. It's my own fucking fault. But still important to like get up and because honestly, like I got out of bed and like I'm not gonna like fuck that. I'm gonna try something every day. But Logic didn't choke on his sandwich. He's choking on his contempt for our poor showing for today. Um, but important to me that like I tried, but also important to like realize, did I get up specific? Yeah, I get up every day to do this. I'm never gonna miss a day unless I'm fucking dead or I can get laid by missing the day. So what I will try to do is like a little bit later today, we might, because I'm not satisfied with this output or whatever. And if my brain is like not together enough to work on this, I'm gonna like take a little rest in a little bit there, get something to eat, and like maybe later today I'll set up and we'll do like a map drawing stream because I wanna test that out, and it's something that may be helpful with the editing stream also. I want to like look a little into the. I've got a touch screen over here that I could configure for some kind of whatever. But yeah. Like so, we made like a few changes. That's the thing about like having a bad chapter is that you have to keep working at it, like gnawing at it until you get a good idea. So I have like a few ideas that I might try out for how to fix this chapter. Working on it a little bit later, and I'll probably try to like sit down for like an hour and just write the section of the chapter off stream and then try to edit it afterward because I don't think that I I don't think that rewriting on stream is usually super productive because it's easy for me to get distracted, and that's where I need like total focus. So, but yeah, that's doing it every day is the only way that I can get the shit done. Otherwise, I'll just fuck off and get nothing done. But yeah. So what do we have right here? Yeah, it's just 1.8 is kind of shitty, and the chapter is here for a reason. It's trying to do something, and that something is to create an atmosphere that they're starting to realize that they're in over their heads. And so we have like this comedic note where they're laughing at him about the bear, and then at some point she's like, "Oh, I'd like to fuck that hunk right there," and it's kind of going like all over the place. So I may just, I think that this is an important chapter to like set the tone of what's going to happen next. So we're going to pause here, and we'll work on it. Yeah. Thanks for your assistance here. We still spent 2 hours on this. Lol. But no real progress today, and it's my own goddamn fault. Penis bomb. Not notes, you dunce. All right, so day 16. 1.8. Alas. All right, but yeah, enjoy your day, and I'm gonna think hard on how to fix this fucking chapter. There will be throughout the course of like this novel, we'll probably have like 4 or 5 different stretches like this where I just get stuck on something and like have to muddle through it. All right, everybody. Adios.